A young girl named Helena Kowalska was born in Poland on August 25th, 1905. She was born into a poor and Catholic family, being the third of 10 children. During her childhood, she was known for her acts of devotion, for her love of prayer, for her hard work, her virtue of obedience, and for her compassion for human suffering. Helena first felt called to the religious life when she was just 7 years old. After finishing her schooling, she wanted to join a convent. However, her parents refused to let her go. But Jesus waited patiently for her. One evening in 1924, when she was about 19 years old, she was at a dance with her sister, and there she experienced a profound vision of Jesus Christ. In her diary, Helena wrote the following, quote, "As I began to dance, I suddenly saw Jesus at my side. Jesus racked with pain, stripped of his clothing, covered with wounds, who spoke these words to me. How long shall I suffer, and how long will you keep deceiving me?" At that moment, the charming music stopped, and any company vanished from my sight. There remained Jesus and I. I took a seat by my dear sister, pretending to have a headache to hide what had taken place in my soul. After a while, I slipped out unnoticed, leaving my sister and all my companions behind, and made my way to the cathedral. It was almost twilight. There were only a few people in the cathedral. Paying no attention to what was happening around me, I fell prostrate before the Blessed Sacrament and begged the Lord to be good enough to allow me to understand what I should do next. Then I heard these words, "Go at once to Warsaw. You will enter a convent there." I rose from prayer, came home, and took care of things that needed to be settled. As best I could, I confided to my sister what took place within my soul. I told her to say goodbye to our parents, and thus, in one dress, with no other belongings, I arrived in Warsaw, end quote. While in Warsaw, Helena sought out many different convents, but she was turned away every time. Unfortunately, she was judged on her appearance, and sometimes she was even rejected because of her poverty. Finally, the Mother Superior for the Congregation of the Sisters of Our Lady of Mercy decided to take in Helena on the condition that she had to pay for her own religious habit. Working as a housekeeper, she began to save her money and make deposits to the convent. And in 1926, at the age of 20, she received her habit and took the name Sister Maria Faustina of the Blessed Sacrament. 2 years later, in 1928, she made her first vows. On February 22nd, 1931, Sister Maria Faustina was visited again by Jesus, who presented himself as the King of Divine Mercy. He asked her to become the apostle of his mercy, to be a model of how to be merciful to others, to be an instrument for re-emphasizing his plan of mercy for the world. Again in her diary, Sister Maria Faustina wrote, quote, "In the evening when I was in my cell, I became aware of the Lord Jesus clothed in a white garment. One hand was raised in blessing, the other was touching the garment at the breast. From the opening of the garment at the breast there came forth 2 large rays, one red and the other pale. In silence I gazed intently at the Lord. My soul was overwhelmed with fear, but also with great joy. After a while, Jesus said to me, 'Paint an image according to the pattern you see, with the inscription, Jesus, I trust in you.'" End quote. Sister Maria Faustina also described that during that same message from Jesus, that Jesus explained that he wanted that image to be solemnly blessed on the first Sunday after Easter, and that Sunday is to be the Feast of Mercy. In 1935, Jesus then taught Sister Maria Faustina the Chaplet of Divine Mercy, a special prayer using rosary beads, a prayer that I think many of us are familiar with today. Jesus told her, "My daughter, encourage souls to say the chaplet which I have given to you. It pleases me to grant everything they ask of me by saying the chaplet. Write that, when they say this chaplet in the presence of the dying, I will stand between my Father and the dying person, not as the just judge, but as the merciful Savior." Throughout the next couple of years, Sister Maria Faustina's health deteriorated. She developed tuberculosis and died in 1938 at the young age of 33. She was canonized a saint by Pope John Paul II in the year 2000. And Pope John Paul II also established the second Sunday of Easter as Divine Mercy Sunday, just as Jesus had requested. And that is exactly what we are celebrating today, Divine Mercy Sunday, as today is the second Sunday of Easter. What a great gift this is, Jesus' mercy for us. In Christianity, we talk about mercy quite often. We celebrate this Feast of Divine Mercy every single year. Some of us pray frequently that Divine Mercy chaplets, and many of us say phrases like, "God is merciful," or "God will have mercy." But what do we mean when we use that word mercy? It's a word that's so often used, but do we understand its true meaning? The word mercy in our contemporary English language has a very limited meaning. In our English language, mercy usually refers to an act of pardon or a cancellation of some sort of punishment. However, in the Catholic tradition, mercy means so much more than just canceling a punishment. Mercy, in the Catholic tradition, is compassion for someone's distress. But not just compassion for another's distress, but putting that feeling of compassion into action by being ready to assist that person who is in distress. It's compassion for the distress of someone put into concrete action. That is the true word meaning of mercy. Therefore, we can say that the divine mercy of God is the form that God's love takes when he reaches out to us in the midst of our distress, in the midst of our needs, in the midst of our brokenness, whether that be sin, guilt, suffering, or even death. Jesus will not allow anything to come between us and his mercy. No demon, no power, no sin, no anger, no loss, no bitterness can prevent us from accepting his mercy. Except one thing. Ourselves. Ourselves and our choice to not ask for his mercy. God's mercy is never ending. God's mercy is super abundant. He is constantly pursuing us and seeking us out so that he can give us his mercy. But in order for us to receive that mercy, we need to ask him for it. And that's the one thing that prevents us from receiving his mercy, is us not asking. Now, in regards to this, there could be two extremes. One extreme can be thinking that we're perfect, thinking that we don't sin, and therefore thinking that we don't need God's mercy. The other extreme is that maybe we feel like we're terrible sinners. And because we feel like we're such terrible sinners, we feel so unworthy to to even ask for his mercy. So because of the unworthiness, we don't ask for it. In either of those extremes, there is no asking for mercy. We want to avoid both of these attitudes because they are both very spiritually dangerous. We want to be right in the middle, which means that we want to be honest and we need to acknowledge that we are great sinners, but that we need to ask for God's mercy in response to that. One thing that is really important in the midst of all the things that are happening in the church and in our world right now is to never forget about the mercy of God. The National Shrine of Divine Mercy, which is in Massachusetts, always encourages us to have an image of the Divine Mercy in our homes. But this year in particular, they are encouraging us to put the image of the Divine Mercy on our front doors. And why? Why the front door? It goes back to the book of Exodus, from the story of the Passover, when the Israelites were saved from death by the blood of the Lamb that was placed upon their doorposts. We need a sort of Passover right now. We need to have this coronavirus pandemic pass over all of us. But we're not going to put the blood of some random lamb on our door. We're going to put the blood of the divine Lamb of God on our doors. Just look at an image of the Divine Mercy. From his side, there is a red ray, symbolizing his blood coming forth from his sacred body. That symbolizes the blood of the Lamb of God. I encourage all of us to take this recommendation from the National Shrine of Divine Mercy seriously, to have an image of the Divine Mercy on our front door. Have it some way where the image is facing outside, whether that's on a window of some sort. It can be very simple. All we need to do is type into Google Images Divine Mercy, print off an image, and place it on our door. Jesus' mercy is never ending. It's super abundant. He loves us so much, he's always pursuing us. He always wants to give his mercy to us. And he's patiently waiting for us, just as he was patiently waiting for Sister Maria Faustina all those years. We need God's mercy. Each of us as individuals need it. Our world as a whole needs it. Our church needs it. Maybe we need it more than we ever have before. All we have to do is ask for it.